Greg, when it comes to the timeline of this, I think everyone's trying to figure out exactly how long this is likely going to drag on for. And then, of course, the financial hit that we could see not only for these automakers, but also so many of the suppliers that are affected by this strike. Do you have any gauges in terms of what that timeline could look like?
It's interesting because in some ways the strike is historic. It's unprecedented. Never has the union struck all three automakers at once. So you kind of wonder, well, how long could this really go on? I think it could be weeks. It could be months even. I think it's one of those things where there will be a tipping point where at some point I think the union will want to try to get a deal done because, with a number of workers not working, that certainly does, that's a financial hit for the workers and their pockets, that sort of thing. So I think at some point the pressure will start to tip. That being said, I think UAW President Shawn Fain has done a masterful job of sort of winning the public relations battle right now. He's been able to sort of sense the moment in this country with like the writers' strike on the West Coast. And, President Biden, of course, in the Oval Office, who is an unabashed, union person. And he's been able to leverage that into trying to, outright reject, some of the deals, the offers right now that in the past would have been probably pretty good deals. What he's trying to do, I think, is flip the field and try to bring things back where, the union does have a stronger say in things like battery plants, where EV factories are built. And I think what he's sensing is this is the time to do it. There may not be a better time.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly did see Shawn Fain kind of morph from one of the earlier press conferences where he showed up wearing a technical fabric golf shirt into late last week's press conference where he was wearing camo. He still had the short sleeve cut. But at the end of the day, he was someone who knew he had leverage and negotiating power. And that might also proceed into who the UAW decides to endorse. We do know that Biden's going to visit. We know that Trump, former President Trump, is also going to make a visit as well here to Michigan. So all that considered, how does this also play a larger role perhaps in 2024 and what each campaign may be saying about the matters that affect the UAW?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's going to be a very historic, interesting week here in Michigan, that's for sure. You have two presidents, coming to essentially support the workers. It sounds like President Biden may actually be on or near a picket line at an actual factory, whereas former President Trump will be at more of like a supplier, perhaps in the suburbs. That's what we know right now. So perhaps a little bit farther away from an actual picket line. But regardless, they both want the blue collar vote in 2024. I think it's definitely going to be a big part of their reelection strategy. Michigan and many Midwestern states are traditionally swing states. So, the votes of these workers could very easily swing the election next year.